You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports. Well, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons because we got one shift away from Justin Fields to the Falcons, and now the winds are blowing heavily towards Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, to give you an idea, there's multiple NFL insiders now talking up Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Now, of course, his wife is from that area. I mean, I think everybody assumed because Justin Fields was from that Georgia area like that he was going to be the ones that end up being the one that was the quarterback traded to that team. Now, the Falcons don't have to trade for Cousins. They sign him as a free agent. But here is the shocking flip on the betting line. Justin Fields was as high as minus 425 to play with the Falcons next season. His odds now, plus 110. So there's been a definite move. They're still the favorites, but not nearly to the extent that they were maybe this is Thursday, maybe last Friday, going into Friday at the Combine, and things changed very quickly. Enter in Adam Schefter, because Adam Schefter believes the winds are blowing in this direction as well. Since the NFL Combine, a slew of NFL insiders have pointed out that Kirk Cousins, not Justin Fields, who the Falcons have at the top of their wish list. Some reporters have added more drama, like Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, who says Cousins is, quote, seriously considering moving his family to Atlanta, which in turn means he's going to sign with the Falcons. Quote, we can't get into specifics for now, but we're getting very credible indications that Cousins is seriously considering moving his family to Atlanta, which would mean, obviously, he'd be signing with the Falcons. Well, if it was only Florio, you would say, well, we got to at least have some caution here. Adam Schefter weighed in. Kirk Cousins is officially the new flavor of the month, and most recently, ESPN's Adam Schefter chimed in on the situation, also suggesting Cousins' family ties could play a factor. I have little doubt that an older player like Kirk Cousins would value being closer to his family in a familiar area like Atlanta. However, it seems to be one of the primary talking points when discussing a possible marriage between Cousins and the Falcons, and it goes on to say, I don't think that's the case. I guess the person that wrote this article. I don't know why you wouldn't think that's the case, because now The Athletic is in on it, and so is Diana Rossini. Atlanta wants Cousins. From Diana Rossini's Combine report, quote, they believe Cousins is the type of player who moves them from a fringe playoff team to a contender. New Atlanta head coach Raheem Morris, offensive coordinator Zach Robinson have familiarity with Cousins. Quote, the Falcons have an impatient owner who wants to win now. Their first target will be Cousins, who seems to be recovering well off an Achilles surgery and would be jumping into an offense with a young, exciting group of weapons, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. And then there's a really strange rumor out there that supposedly, and this was Florio, and he said he could not confirm it, but he come out and said, quote, there's been an effort by Cousins to look in Atlanta for maybe schools for his kids and a house for the family. I haven't confirmed this part yet, but it's just one of the little things that make sense. Cousins has potentially talked to a guy who wears number 8 for the Falcons, Kyle Pitts, about getting number 8 before any of this stuff is done. By the way, Kyle Pitts came out and said, no, there was not that conversation. That said, Kyle Pitts can't say that there was that conversation. And I'm not sure people understand that. He can't admit that. That's tampering. I mean, Kirk Cousins is still, technically speaking, he's still, as of now, around the Vikings, right? And so, you got the league year that's got to start there. And, of course, the tampering period doesn't start until the 11th. Yes, tampering's been going on at the combine for sure, no doubt. That's where it all always starts, and you do start hearing heavy rumors out of there. Most end up becoming right. They do. I mean, out of the combine, especially when it comes to free agent players moving, a lot of that stuff's right. The draft stuff is an out-and-out lie. I mean, they ain't nobody tipping their cap lids on the person they're going to take in the draft. They're not going to do that unless you've got the number 1 overall pick and you're not going to trade it. Then you don't care if it comes out. In fact, you might even let it come out just to see what you get offered for sure if some other team just absolutely has to have what looks like Caleb Williams right now. Question is, what happens with Justin Fields now? That's the interesting question, because it looked like he was a real lock. Now, before the Falcons, the video surfaced of him obviously celebrating something that most people thought was him finding out who his next team was going to be. Was there a trade in place with the Falcons or a different team? Nothing related. We don't know. All I know is that video surfaced and his betting odds to the Falcons skyrocketed. And now they've backed off, way off. All right, when you go from a minus 425 to a plus 10, you've had a back off there. And there was some word that Arthur Blank was saying something like he didn't care what it would cost, go get Kirk Cousins. It's understandable. You look at that team they've got, far as the offense goes. If Kirk Cousins is healthy and he's still got arm strength, we got to remember he's getting older. All right? I mean, he's not but couple of years younger than what Matt Ryan was when they moved off of him. But nonetheless, as long as his arm strength holds up, then no doubt they immediately become arguably the favorite in the NFC South. I mean, he's the best quarterback in that division. And, yeah, probably better than Baker Mayfield and definitely better than Derek Carr and Bryce Young. So you would think with those weapons, at least offensively, they're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Now, the Bucs are going to have something to say about this. By the way, Michael Thomas got cut today, or is getting cut at the league year from the Saints. So I saw that earlier today. It was like, wow, he's been there for a long time. Now he's gone. And somebody's going to look at him. If you're the Patriots, that's an interesting possible lower cost pickup at wide receiver that gives you some talent. Throw him a $7 million contract and get him on the roster. If you're the Patriots, if you're another team that just needs some depth, Michael Thomas, now he's out there. Yeah, he's older, but, if he could play another even 1 or 2 good years, it would be worth a flyer on a Michael Thomas. Now, the problem is he's got all kinds of attitude issues, so there's that. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports supporters. Kirk Cousins is going to be a Falcon? Is that what's happening? So then Justin Fields becomes you know what's interesting? Justin Fields and Russell Wilson could be fighting for the same team, the Steelers. That's interesting. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.